This is the new Audi RS5 and it starts from £61,000, which may seem like quite a lot, but then this is a very fast coupe. However, Audi already does a very fast coupe, the almost identical Audi S5, yet it starts from £48,000. So in this video I'm going to try and find out if the RS5 is worth the extra 13 grand. To do this, I will have a drag race, I will have a rolling race,
2, 1, go!
I will ask a man his opinion, and I will get some air. But before we get into all that, here's 5 annoying things about the Audi RS5. Inside, it doesn't really seem that much different than a normal A5 diesel, apart from this RS flat bottom steering wheel, this little RS badge down here, and the fact you can get it with sport seats with an RS logo, though you can get these sport seats in an S5 if you want. The RS5's top speed is electronically limited to 155 miles an hour, though you can have it de-restricted so it'll do 174 miles an hour. Though for the privilege, you do have to pay £1,450. Why? Why? It should just be 174 miles an hour from the start. If you want, you can pay extra to get a carbon fibre roof fitted to your Audi RS5, and that helps lower the centre of gravity. However, you get a carbon fibre roof as standard on an Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio and a BMW M4. Now, if you're wondering what this is, it's not the carbon roof, it's actually the sunroof, which once again is an option you have to pay for, only this one actually raises the centre of gravity, which isn't ideal. In a performance car, you want the seating position to be as low slung as possible so you feel all hunkered down and more connected with the road. Unfortunately, in this Audi RS5, they just don't go quite low enough. They could do with an extra inch. Story of my life. If you get carried away with the Audi configurator and specify every single possible option, the total of this car will come to £98,558. And then you can add an exclusive colour on top of that for £2,400, which will take the total cost of this car to over £100,000. £100,000! £100,000! £100,000! What? However, the RS5 has plenty of cool features which help justify its price tag. This new Audi RS5 has a 2.9 litre twin-turbo V6 petrol engine. It has 450 horsepower and 600 Newton meters of torque. Now you might be wondering why the heck Audi has got rid of the old 4.2 litre V8 and then fitted this smaller V6. Well, there is one benefit, and that's the fact that this engine is 31 kilos lighter than the old V8, and as Audi tends to like to mount its engines a little bit in front of the front wheels, yeah, that's a good thing, because the more weight you have hanging out over the nose, the more understeer you have. So this car should understeer less than the old V8 because its engine is lighter, but we shall see. This thing may almost be as fast as a supercar, but it's got some pretty usable rear seats. I mean, look, there's enough room for me and a friend. He's my friend. Actually, he's a cameraman, he's paid to be here. This car's boot capacity is an impressive 465 litres, and that means that it's very, very practical. The Quattro all-wheel drive system can send 70% of the car's power to the rear, and the standard fit limited slip differential means you can hoon around like you probably wouldn't think possible in a four-wheel drive car. You probably won't have to fill the RS5 up quite as much as some other performance cars because, believe it or not, I manage 30 miles per gallon in this thing, which is insane considering how fast it is. I also like the way that on the fuel filler cap you have a little RS badge.
I love the smell of petrol in the morning. It smells like victory.
Speaking of victory, Audi certainly has scored a win with this car's design. The RS5 has some styling upgrades to make sure it stands out and looks more aggressive than the normal A5. So you've got an RS style grille there, you've got a front splitter, the Quattro logo and various wings and vents and stuff going on. There's even some vents by the headlamps, and they do have holes in them, though I'm not entirely sure they serve a purpose. The car's wheel arches have this box design like the old Quattro. It makes it look wider, more aggressive, and you can get the car with 20-inch alloy wheels, which is what these are, but they are a £2,000 option. In fact, if you want your brake calipers painted red, you have to pay extra for that as well. Down the side, there's some side skirts, makes the car look low to the ground, as does the Load Sport suspension. You've got that box design wheel arch at the back as well, gives it wide haunches and some vents, fake vents probably, by the tail lamps, and a deep rear bumper with diffuser, and of course the oval RS style tailpipes. Now, what do you think of the look of this car? Does it look better than a BMW M4 or a Mercedes C63 AMG Coupe? Click up there to vote. What's just as important is how the RS5 feels to drive. If you're just cruising along in this car, you probably wouldn't know that you're in the performance version. Admittedly, this has the £2,000 optional adaptive dampers, and I've got it set in comfort mode. But yeah, it's the RS model, it's riding on 20s. Yeah, it's so livable every day, it's super comfy, lovely. But you don't buy a car like this for it to be super blooming comfy, do you? So let's put it into sports mode. Come on, dynamic. Gearbox into dynamic. There we go. Ah, the exhaust has got louder, though this does have the optional £1,500 sports exhaust. Now, I'm in 6th gear. It's automatic, normal torque converter. Want a sudden burst of power. And we're off! That is fast. That is fast. But the response was a little bit delayed. There's like this soggy effect in the blooming acceleration pedal. It's not turbo lag as such. It's more like the car's got some form of palsy. So flex my right foot, pause, then we're going. It just doesn't feel on point enough. It doesn't feel aggressive enough. And the way the power builds as well, although it's fast, it's very fast actually. It doesn't seem brutal, not as brutal as a C63 AMG. However, does that make it more manageable when you encounter a twisty road? Right, and let's see what this bad boy's like, because the old RS5 felt a little bit heavy and cumbersome, but this one, it holds on better and it just feels more playful, more adjustable. It's a bit of a... Blimey! This is actually pretty blooming good. Oh my God! Oh! Yes, it likes to jump. Oh, you can really feel what's going on, and the way it scrabbles out of corners, you can feel that rear drive bias. Thing is, the RS5 is never going to be as rear biased as a BMW M4. So, if you're a track day junkie, you'll find the M4 more fun. But for normal people, the RS5 is the more rounded car, and that brings us on to the S5, which is also a very rounded car. It uses pretty much the same V6 engine as the RS5, but it has just one rather than two turbochargers, so has about 100 horsepower less at 354 horsepower. Still, it's considerably cheaper, £13,000 cheaper. This S5... Got a bit of a confession to make. For the next bit we recorded, I actually messed with my microphone, so the sound is all screwed up. So I'm going to have to overdub the next part the best I can. Sorry. Yes, this drives very well. It's not quite as planted nor as fun as the RS5. Really, for road use, it's close enough. But I wonder, does it feel seriously down on power? Okay then, let's have a drag race. Oh no, I am losing. I lost, but not by that much. This still feels pretty fast. Luckily, from this part onwards, I actually fixed my microphone, so now normal service is resumed. Now, a drag race isn't very realistic, so we're going to have a rolling race. Got the car locked in manual mode, 2nd gear. I'm going to count down from 3, and we'll see what happens. So, let's get it on. 3, 2, 1, go! Well, I went first, but that car's going now. And yeah, there we go. That's enough of that. I think I reacted a bit quicker than than the RS5 driver, but even so, it pulled ahead and then it was going, but not by a massive amount. I don't think by £13,000 worth. Well, that's my view, but let's get a second opinion from a real person. This is Rob, and this is actually his Audi S5. I've asked him to have a good look round the RS5, take it for a drive, and then do some maths. So, does he think the RS5 is worth the extra cash over his S5?
No.
Well, I think that verdict is pretty clear. You see, while the RS5 is good, it just doesn't feel quite special enough over the S5 to warrant the extra cash. Now, if you click up there, you can go to carwow.co.uk, you'll be able to build your ideal car online. You'll then get 5 great offers back from top dealers within 24 hours. So you can buy at a price you're confident in, all from the comfort of your own home without having to haggle. Now, if you click up there on our logo, you can subscribe to our channel and we'll send you more great videos just like this, or click on the video windows either side of me to watch some videos right now.